Here we go. It's the Monday after the Super Bowl, the number one day that people call in sick. Brady and I are here. We showed up, but let us know if anyone else did. So congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles. They won the Super Bowl. It never even hardly felt like a game. I mean, what a beatdown. But anyway, jumping into the headlines, right? We've got grains staying positive. It's Monday, it's a new week, but sometimes the headlines feel a little bit the same. We've got tariffs in the news, we've got some flash sales, and we have to talk about fun positioning in this corn market from the commitment of traders that we saw Friday. So with that, Brady Huck, jump in here, quote us up on the market. Here we go.
All right.
We'll
Let's go to your markets. Let's see where they're at. Kind of a mixed board here this morning. March corn up 3 cents at 4.90. Looking over at your March beans, up a penny at 10.50 and a half. Oil is down at 20 points, up 80 cents. Looking over your wheat, March wheat is down a penny and a half. Wheat is down 2 cents. Feeder cattle up $1.30. We got a rally on our hands, boys. Good to see feeders in the green. Live cattle up $1.10. Over at your lean hogs, up 10 cents. Crude oil is up 86 points. Diesel's up 2.5 cents. Nat gas is up 5 cents. Looking over at your equities, the Dow is up 130 points. The S&P up 30, and the NASDAQ up 220 points. That's a kind of a quick rundown of your markets there. Good to see corn with some green on the screen there, up 3 cents.
Yeah, absolutely. We had it was definitely lower. I looked at market open Sunday night, and I think we were down 3 or 4, right? Let's look at the low. Yeah, low was at 482. We're sitting at 490 on March corn. So good to see the positive news. So
yeah, those overnight markets, sometimes they sell off, and then by the time you get to the day session, popping up into the green or a different direction, it's always good to pay attention to those things and resilient. It's good.
Absolutely. So Brady, I know you're a Broncos fan, right? But are your boys aren't Chiefs fans either, right? No.
I got my middle Camden. He's a Chiefs fan. So.
Okay.
But he doesn't really care either. So he's not a diehard Chiefs fan. He's just there. He's kind of a social Chiefs fan because everybody else is.
I got you. Well, it felt, I feel like most of America was rooting against the dynasty, right?
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, what a beatdown. I do got to laugh is we had Trump in attendance. I think it was the first time a sitting president's ever attended the Super Bowl. And the game was so boring, Trump decided to get rid of the penny in the middle of the football game. So he tweeted this out. I think it was like the second or third quarter. And I'm like, how boring does the game have to be for him to, you know what? We're getting rid of the penny, folks.
Trump is just always working. He's just ready to take care of business. Whenever we're at the Super Bowl, no time to party. This game, it's in the books by the second quarter. Let's get rid of the penny. What? The pennies? So the penny's gone, Connor? No more pennies?
We've talked. I mean, I think let's pull that up again. We've talked about this before, right? How wasteful it is to make it, but just the timing of it is what cracked me up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's Sunday. Come on.
Oh man! All right, and that's what we get with this administration. There's a headline, if not multiple times a day, every day. Continues, right? We talk about headline risk. But it's one of those buckle up. Speaking of headlines, let's get into it. Flash sale, 365,000 metric ton of corn sold to Mexico, right? Tariffs be damned. We continue to see some sales to Mexico. Good to see. Good, healthy flash sale, too. Good way to start Monday.
Yeah, Mexico's been a big piece of the corn business for the U.S. book, and good to see a nice size sale there, too. So good to see those continue, especially with all the tariff talk going on. So
yeah,
keep them coming.
And speaking of tariffs, as we saw, it's a little more. Let me pull up my notes here. Trump set to announce 25% steel and aluminum tariffs again. So it's more tariff talk, a little bit different. Doesn't necessarily affect grains, but from aboard Air Force One, he tweeted it. President Donald Trump's expected to introduce 25% tariffs on Monday, right? And so we've seen this song and dance before where we see the announcement of tariffs. Let's see what the follow through is. but seeing that on top of existing metals duties and another major escalation of a shakeup of trade policy. So continues, right? The main largest sources of steel imports, same countries we've heard of: Brazil, Canada, and Mexico. And then we have South Korea and Vietnam in there as well. So the story just continues, right? It's Monday. Where we're going to be Friday, who knows?
Definitely, yeah. So we got a steel and aluminum tariff, and this happened Sunday as well with the penny headline. We got tariffs on steel and aluminum all on the same day on a Sunday.
Yep, he was aboard Air Force One for this one.
That's getting work done. That's getting some work done.
Absolutely. So we'll see where it goes, right? The tariff risk, it's still very real, but it feels very different than it did maybe 4 weeks ago, right? It's more tariffs are very much on the table, but we're going to use it as a conversation. We've seen him use it to advance certain parts of his agenda, and then we've paused tariffs. And so
Right.
the risk is still there, but I don't know. Am I wrong to say it feels a little muted than what I thought 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it feels like the trade is adjusting and adapting to the posturing headline negotiation type style that kind of out the gate, maybe a little nervousness of what's all going to happen, how quick things are going to move and change. But you get a couple deals and you see how they work themselves out a little bit and mute those headlines over time. It feels like the trade's definitely maybe taking them in stride a little better and seeing how they play out versus reactionary type volatility. So yeah, I would agree, Connor.
Yeah, and especially with when let's go back 2 months ago when we were talking about tariffs, we think China, right? That's what we saw 2018, 2019. But for me, I feel like anything that disrupts the corn exports to Mexico, throw Canada in there as well, right? Those were very real risks. Those feels especially muted. China tariffs feels like we could still see something right going forward. But again,
Well,
when we look at soybean exports, right, we're it's not like we're just completely on fire with soybeans going to China. So
right. Yeah. Well, it's a tactic, right? I mean, tariffs are a tactic for negotiation and to try to get something done or change that you don't like. And it's just a tool in the toolbox out there to go and create some change or try to create some pain somewhere or shuffle the cards up a little bit and change the game to get maybe a more favorable result. I don't think it's tariff. I mean, I don't think the mindset is, hey, we need tariffs on everything long term everywhere. It's just more of a tactic to change the game and
yep.
get where you want to be. So
Yep.
definitely.
I think so. So
Yeah.
with that, we got it's Monday, right? Feels like we get the commitment of traders out of on Friday. We talk about it Monday, and it just continues to be a story where we are seeing funds push their bullish corn bets to highest since April of 2022. And so I always say is, when we're looking at previous marketing years, 21, 22, we're in good company there, right? Those were fun years to market grain. It was hard to do a bad job in those years. And we're getting back in that area. So amazing, going back to July, the fund longs in corn, it just continues, right? We're getting continually long. So great to see. Another good stat, I got this from Karen Braun, is that just looking at it in terms of gross long positions, meaning not the average, right? When we look at this, it's the long and shorts, but just the gross long positions is at 447,000 roughly as of February 4th. It's record large going back to 06. So the amount of just gross longs in the market is a record going back for nearly 20 years.
That's very interesting, I think, to point out, and a good catch, Karen Braun, on that, because I do like breaking that out from just looking at the net position, how many longs we got, how many shorts we got, and which side could be moving the pieces going forward, and are we going to add more to those gross longs, or do we have some shorts in there that need to get maybe squeezed out to push the final leg higher? possibly. I don't know. But either way, Connor, that big net long position is up there. And if you're a farmer, I mean, your risk to me is that those funds decide to bail for one reason or another. And to me, what are those reasons, Connor? I mean, is that reason safrinha corn crops off to a good start and we're going to plant 94, 95 million acres of corn in the U.S.? Is that what scares the funds and causes them to bail out? Or do they just hang up out there forever at 300, 400,000 net long?
Right. Well, there's no, if we look back on this one has got, going back to 2020, if we threw a few more out there, I'd say there's no correlation. There's no, it can be anywhere and everywhere. If we look at 20, going back to 22, we didn't really sell off till we got later in the summer months, by going into, roughly like July, August
Yeah.
timeframe. But yeah, time will tell. Things that you said could scare the funds are things that can scare me, right? Right now, the market, we're looking at that corn soybean spread. It's still favoring more corn acres, and we all know the old adage that we love to plant corn here in the United States. So that those are the two ones that we got to be ready for. Is what's the safrinha corn crop going to look like? We'll be talking about that, I'm sure, throughout the week. And then we got to start looking at acreage, right? February, we're going to get crop insurance price set. And then by the end of March, we're going to start looking at that prospective plantings, right? I think it's the last day in March, if right around there. And so, yeah,
a lot of pieces coming forward. Gets me excited though, because that's always a fun time of year when you have the rain delay, planting delays, and then you talk about the bean corn spread and what's the market trying to do? Is the market going to entice you to go, stay with corn, or is it going to say, hey guys, let's plant some beans here too. Don't get carried away with the corn. Slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
interesting stuff going forward for sure.
And if you're planting more corn acres, right? Leave us a comment if you want. Let us know, what are you doing on your operation, right? Keeping everything the same? Are you thinking about doing more corn acres, right? I'd love to know that. Drop us a comment.
Definitely. Yep. Let us know. All right.
Okay.
Cattle side of things, a little bland here to start the week. Cutout rolled over towards the end of the week. Steady to somewhat lower is kind of the cash call this week on the cattle front, Connor. We'll see how the week plays out. The index has pulled back a little bit on the feeder side of things. Cattle didn't have a great week last week. We'll see if they can find some solid ground here and stabilize, or if it's just the start of a larger meltdown. Keep in mind, March 15th is it's kind of the deadline here out in Kansas on when you got to pull cattle off of wheat acres. So there might be some logistics that are happening as guys manage their graze out there on the wheat. And a big storm coming through, Connor. I'm supposed to get 5-6 inches of snow maybe Tuesday night. Yeah, here in Kansas. 6 inches across kind of the heart of Kansas. I meant to pull that map in, but I think it's supposed to come towards you. You guys are a day behind me all the time. It's Kansas weather, Illinois weather. You guys get that system the next day.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, Robert comment said less corn, less beans. He's looking at spring wheat, milo, and maybe sellable hay crops, also sunflowers. Okay, Robert, a lot of options in terms of different commodities. I think Robert's up Dakota area, right?
Yep, I think northern South Dakota there, Robert. Appreciate the comment and the feedback there. Yeah, diversify your crop planting plans a little bit. Not a bad risk management strategy. Can I stay at Brady's house if it storms? Definitely, Robert. Yeah, we can stay at the farm.
Okay. Well, any other comments? Let's go ahead or any other comment? Yeah, comments. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think we can get back to work, but I got to play the little outro here after the Super Bowl. Got to click the button and wrap up the NFL season.
There we go.
Let's get out of here before I cause any more trouble.
All right. Everyone have a good day. See ya.